samples, okay, so that you just have the chance to explore, okay, different kinds of diagram, how to find this congruent triangle or similar triangles, okay, but in these few lessons, we'll just focus on similar triangles. That's why I'm going to share with you this exercise. And then, of course, okay, I'll suggest you to have exercise book or paper with you so that we can do together, okay? If you need this one, I can just upload the file to Google Classroom, okay? It's another set of exercise, okay? Because I think it is easier for me to share this one with you here, okay, instead of using those exercises in the book. Okay, right, let's start. Now, 11C, I'll do a few more questions in 11C so that then we can move on to 11D. Now, this one, okay, it just means that you need to identify whether they are similar, by observation only.
But I think
Okay, by observation only. Therefore, it means you just look at the diagram and then just try to determine whether they are similar or not. Say for this case, not similar. Okay, it means just by looking at it, by observation. Okay, and then for the next type, now just remind you once again, for this one, it means you are told that these two triangles are similar, okay? Therefore, you don't need to make the decision whether they are similar or not. They are similar. And then name all the corresponding angles and tools of the two similar triangles. Therefore, now, usually you can just look at the sequence of the triangles given, okay? Therefore, in this case, P corresponds to C, and then Q correspond to Y, okay, and then R correspond to X. You can just follow the sequence, okay. Therefore, in this case, of course, you can look at the diagram, double check, okay, P, Q, R, okay, and then C, Y, X, okay, and therefore angle P and angle C, they are in one pair, okay, and then write clearly, okay, use N to connect these two angles, and then use a comma, and then write down the next pair, angle Q and angle Y, okay, comma, angle R and angle X, like that. And then name all the corresponding sides. Now, you can just also look at the size by looking at the names of the triangles given. Okay, for example, if you have to name a side, side is the line, okay, for the triangle, it's a line segment, okay, and therefore we need 2 points, right, to talk something about a line segment, okay, we need to name the end point. Therefore, in this case, for example, if you look at this part, look at these two, it means P and Q, P to Q, talking about this line, okay, and then the corresponding side will be this one, CY. Like that. Therefore, it means I have PQ and CY. Okay. And then the next pair, for example, QR. QR, if you just look at the name, means it corresponds to YX. QR. QR. And then corresponds to YX. YX. Therefore, I have QR and YX, comma. And then the next one will be these two. Okay, PR and then correspond to CX. PR corresponds to CX. Okay, therefore we have PR and CX. Okay, it is very important that you know how to name the corresponding angles and corresponding sides, because later when you are asked to solve for some unknown length or unknown angles, then you need to pair them up. Okay, because if you don't know how to pair the angles and sides, then you don't know how to extract the information. Okay, now then we come to the next one. Now, for example, I just pick one as an example, like this one. Now, if you still remember, if we have similar triangles, now the angles are equal. Okay, there are three pairs of corresponding angles. Okay, they are equal. But for the length, for the size, be very careful. They are not equal. They are called in proportion or proportional. Now, therefore, in this case, you need to identify the corresponding size also, because you find you are asked to solve the unknown size also. Now, therefore, usually I will ask people to write something like that before solving. I will ask people to write down all the corresponding sides. Say EF corresponds to XY. Okay, and then FD corresponds to XC, right? And then ED corresponds to X. I think the second one is not correct, right? This one should be YC, FD. And then ED corresponds to XC, right? And then you can see that for the denominator, this is the numerator. Okay, the number on top. Okay, they come from this triangle, the numerators. And then for the denominator, the size come from this triangle. Okay, be very careful, because we are going to do the division. If you interchange the side, then it means just like originally you should have 3/2. If you write like that, interchange the number, then it becomes 2/3. Okay, totally different. Okay, that's why make sure that you need to have the same system or same rule. Okay, when you write out the corresponding sign. And then when we talk about proportion, it means when I do the division like that, okay, they should be all equal. Okay, it means if I take the corresponding sides from the two similar triangles, and then I do the divisions, then I will find that the value should be the same. And then we say that this is called ratio. And then all the ratios are the same. then we say that they are proportional. Okay, 3 sides are proportional. Okay, right. Usually I will ask students to write down this kind of information before solving. Okay. Okay. Right. Then we continue. It means we have this one, and then you look at your diagram and then see which informations you have. EF we have 15 units, and then XY is here 12. Okay, and then FD we don't have any information of FD, and then we don't have any information of YC. Therefore, it means we don't need this one. Okay, this one we don't need it. Never mind. We can just skip it, and then equals ED. ED is 10, right? And then XC is Y plus 4, like that. Agree? Now, therefore, in this case, of course, for this one, okay, you can try to do some cancellations before solving the equation. Okay, we can cancel 3. Therefore, 5 over 4 equals 10 over Y plus 4. And then we have 5 times Y plus 4 equals 10 times 4. Okay, expand the brackets here. 5Y plus 20 equals 40. 5Y equal 20. Y equals 4. Okay. And then for the remaining one here, this is also an unknown. C corresponds to angle D. Okay, therefore I also have 5x equals 75 degrees. And therefore x is 15 degrees. Now, sometimes you may find that the unknown may carry a unit, sometimes not. Now, it depends on, if you look at this one, 5x, no unit here. Therefore, the unit is included in this variable. Okay, if that's the case that instead of 5x, if it is written as 5x degrees, now then in this case it means I have 5x degrees equals to 75 degrees. Therefore, it means 5x just equals to 75. That x in this case will be just 15, no units. Okay, therefore, sometimes you may find that the unknown may carry the unit, sometimes not. Then you have to look at the questions, how they give you the information. Okay. Any problem with this one? If no, then we go to the next one. Okay, I clear the drawings. Now, then let's try number 17. Now, in this case, you may find that the diagram is not given. Okay, there's no diagrams. But if you think you need a diagram, okay, then you may draw it by yourself. And then you can look at it first. Okay, and then x is 35 degrees. Okay, this one 100 degrees. Then you may think that, okay, I may have triangles looks like that. Okay, because there's one angle, okay, more than 90. Okay, then you say label this one as C and then 100 degrees. Okay, and then there's an X. There may be X is here. Okay, 35. And then how about this one? This one will be 45, right? Okay, and then DE will just look the same, okay? The same shape, but just maybe different size. Okay, now therefore in this case, first you need to find F. Okay, and the F means C, right? Therefore in this case, what you need to write down, you need to write down angle F. Because you are going to find angle F, therefore write angle F first. Okay, it means you are going to draw people's attention, telling people that I am going to find angle F. Okay, therefore you need to write angle F first. And then tell people that, okay, angle F just equals to angle C, right? And then if you want to do it perfectly, then you can write down because triangle, if you want to write because they are corresponding angles, in this case, not parallel lines, because I am talking about similar triangle in this case. Okay, and then you can write down which is 100 degrees like that. Okay, now then find angle D. Now you may have problems in doing this one. The problem is that you will skip something. Okay, I'm sure that you know how to find the value, but the case that you will skip the steps. Okay, therefore for part B, we need to write something like that. Now, if you look at the information, we have information mostly, okay, about this triangle. Therefore, we make use of this triangle first. Then we have angle Y plus angle C plus angle X, okay, which is 180 degrees. Why? Because they are the interior angles of triangle, okay, based on angle sum of triangle, okay, these three together should be the same. That should be 180 degrees, so sorry. And then therefore I have angle Y plus 100 degrees plus 35 degrees, which is 180. Therefore, at the end, I have angle Y equals 45 degrees. Now, after you have found angle Y, then you can tell people that, oh, okay, angle D actually just the same as angle Y because they are corresponding angles of these two similar triangles. Okay, and then write down 45 degrees in this way. Therefore, I'm quite sure that you know how to find the 45, find the value of 45. But I think most of you may skip all these steps. Okay, that is the problem. This is what you need to learn how to write the step in detail. It means you need to really explain to the others why you can get 45 degrees. Okay, up to this moment, okay? Right, then I clear the drawing here because I need the space to do the next one. Now then you can see that XC is 24 cm and then 4 times YC equals 3 times df. Now this one, we need to do, we first get this one, this information first, this part. And then we need to rewrite it. Okay, I write here for y c equals 3df. Okay, now here we usually, okay, compare the two sides of the triangle, right? And then we compare by doing a division. Okay, remember just we did just now. Okay, therefore, now I am going to rewrite this one like that. First, I don't like the 4 on the left hand side. Therefore, I do it slowly. Actually, you can skip some of the step. Therefore, I have something like that, right? Okay, and then I choose divided by 4 because I want to cancel it on the left. Therefore, it means I have YC. Okay, remember YC represents one number. It represents the length from point Y to C. Okay, it represents line segment. Okay, don't separate them in this case. Equals 3 times the length of DF and then divided by 4, right? And then just now I said usually, okay, we are going to compare two sides of the triangles by doing a division. And therefore, in this case, I want to have YC divided by DF here. Okay, which is 3 times DF. And then 4 is here, and then divided by DF. Can you see that? This DF is come from this one. Okay, any problem up to this moment? If you have question, you need to write your question in the chat, because the case is that some of you, I don't know why, you always unmute your microphone, but you are not intending to talk anything. That's why I mute all your microphone, and then I don't allow you to unmute your microphone. Okay. The case is that if you are disciplined, then people don't make so many rules. Okay. If you are not disciplined, then you just make people to make some more rules to control you. Okay, this is not good actually, but I don't want to remind someone to mute the microphone so many times. Right, let's go back here. Therefore, in this case, we can cancel df. In this case, it means this is the ratio of the length of the two triangles. Okay, it means if you look at the three sides of these, three corresponding sides of these two triangles, they all keep this number. Okay, 3/4. Okay, therefore in this case, it means YC. Okay, which length corresponds to it? Okay, YC. Oh, sorry, no YC, XC, sorry, XC corresponds to FE or EF. It is what we want to know. Okay, therefore in this case, it means XC divided by EF should be equals YC divided by DF. Okay, because they are all corresponding sides of the two corresponding two similar triangles. Then in this case, you just put the values you have. 24 cm divided by EF equals, put the value here, 3/4. Okay, therefore in this case, how long is it? Do you know? Anyone want to try, want to write the, anyone have calculated? Or do you have any problems in calculate this one? Oh, no. How can you do the cancellation to the left-hand side? You cannot do it. Just if you don't think about the units, do this one. Yes. And then in this case, we have cm. We carry, they should have the same units, cm. Okay. Some people may do it in this way, but it is not a good way to do so, because sometimes this number may not be the multiple of 3. Therefore, in this case, you may think about, say, 24 times 4 equals 3 times EF. And therefore, EF is 24 times 4 divided by 3. Usually, I do it in this way. Then I can do the cancellation here. Therefore, 8 times 4 is 32. Okay. Now, this is basically section C. And then for section C, you are always given that there are some similar triangles. And then you are asked to find the unknowns. But for section D will be different. That is the other way around. And then we come to the next one. Now, in this case, in each of the following, then you need to tell the reason after looking at the information why you know that they are similar. Okay. Now, usually if we do it in details, okay, but you need to really know that which two sides are corresponding. Okay, for example, you have to observe the number. And then you can find that these two, okay, they correspond to each other. These two correspond to each other. Okay, and then the remaining 2, right, times 2. Now, be very careful, okay? You need the knowledge of similar triangles or congruent triangle all the way through in your secondary school study. That's why it means later you will find that you always need to use this kind of knowledge. And then be very careful. Sometimes you the triangles may not be similar. Okay, don't think that okay, I have this all the length, and then they are similar. Okay, don't be so careless. You really need to prove. Of course, at this moment, you just learn this topics, okay, all the exercise, okay, given to you, okay, just for your training, okay, and then you will find that they are always similar, and then you may be very careless. Okay, side, okay, I have all the three sides, okay, 3 sides proportion or something like that. But later you will find you really need to check it carefully, Okay, just remind you something like that. And then for this one, okay, instead of just writing three sides proportional, okay, later, okay, especially when you sit for the DSC exam, you may really need to do something like that. Okay, AB divided by XC or CX is okay, 5/10, which is 1/2. And then AC divided by CY is 4/8, 1/2. And then BC, okay, divided by XY, okay, which is 6/12, 1/2. And then write down, therefore, triangle ABC similar to triangle ABC CXY, right? And then three sides proportional. This is what you need to write when you sit for your DSE exam. Okay, don't just write down three sides proportional. Okay, you also need to show these calculations. Okay, therefore, I would suggest you to practice now. Okay, otherwise you may need to do the revision again when you are in Form 4. Okay, because definitely at that time you need to do quite a lot of these problems. Okay, then you will be required to write these steps at that time. You must write these steps at that time. That's why I would suggest you to why state the reason, why not? Because once again, if you don't learn it now, I just tell you when you are in Form 4, we require you to write all these steps. That's why I think you are able to learn it now, right? Therefore, I just want to tell you that, okay, of course, when you are in Form 1 for this kind, can you see that level 1 questions? Okay, it's just very simple to ask you to state the reason only. But if you don't write the steps, okay, some of you may be you may not check the reasons behind carefully. Yes, in DSE, once again, DSE exam, okay, you will have the same topic in DSE exam, and then the teacher will assume that you have learned in Form 1. Okay, therefore, I would suggest you to learn it now. Okay, because there will be no more lessons on congruent triangle and similar triangles in Form 2 or 3. Okay, no single chapter, okay, on this one. Okay, therefore, in this case, you better, I am sure that all of you are able to know how to write these steps. Actually, in the past, we require Form 1 to write the steps. Okay, just at this year, okay, some of the exercise are have made simpler. Okay, just ask you to state the reason only instead, and then without telling the detailed steps. Okay, but in the past, we always require former student to list out all these detailed steps because you very sure that you will need this when you are in Form 4, 5, and 6. because DSE exam requires you to write the steps. Because sometimes it is good to write the detailed step because it just makes you to think carefully. Okay, you make sure because later we won't mark the angle for you anymore for the advanced problem. That's why you need to find out the angles by yourself. Okay, therefore you need to know that, okay, when I am looking at similar triangle, I should say I may need to find the size. Okay, see whether I have information about the size of the triangles. Okay, and then I need to check the ratio. Okay, whether all the three sides are having the same ratio. Now, then in this case, if I don't have any information about the size, how about the angles? Do I have the angles? Okay, do I know which two are corresponding? Okay, whenever you are asking these kinds of questions, in your mind, you are having all these steps already. That's why don't you just write them down? Okay, when you are doing the checking in your mind, okay, you are just having these steps in your mind actually. Then why don't you just write them down? And then in this case, if you write them down, it is also helping you, it can also help you to write the triangles in the correct, name the triangles in the correct sequence for the points. Okay, therefore it means you have DEF, then the other one should be UTS. Therefore, in this case, you know, okay, triangle DEF similar to triangle UTS, and the reason AAA. Okay. Now, and then for the other one, okay, we haven't done this before, but imagine, look at that. We have the length, okay, and then be very careful. This angle is inside, or is, once again, the proper name is included. Okay, included in these two sides. Now think carefully. It means when I draw the triangle, if I need to draw the triangle, okay, I mark one side here like that, and then I need to have 35 degrees, right? And then I need to have another length like that. Okay, now if I keep these two lengths fixed, okay, if I have this one 15, and then if I have this one 10, okay, or maybe a bit longer in proportion, then you will find that you must have this line, okay, so that you will get a triangle, right? Now, if the case that if I keep this angle 35, okay, like this one. For example, if I want to make it half, and then I make it half like that. Can you see that? Okay. Now in this case, okay, I just do it roughly, okay, in a diagram like that. Then you can see that if I look at this smaller triangle, okay, this one is similar to the bigger one, okay. Therefore, in this case, we will find the third reasons for having similar triangles. Now, it means first, I have an angle, just like that. And then the two legs Okay, for this angle, these are the legs or the arms. Okay, some books may say legs, some book may say arms. Okay, it's because the point is here. Okay, this angle is at this point, and then from this point, okay, I can draw two lines like that, and then we may call these two as arms or legs like that, and then I have information of the arms or legs. Okay, now then in this case, we need to really check, okay, because you can see that the ratio may not be an integer. Okay, now I try to do it this one. Now you will think that, okay, ln, okay, should be the longer one. Okay, qr should be the longer one. Therefore, I will use ln compare with qr. Okay, which is ln is 15, qr is 12, right? And then I can do calculation. I can do cancellation. Then I do the cancellation. Cancel 3. I have 5/4. And then I try to compare mn, okay, with pq, right? And then this one, 10/8. And then I can do cancellation. Okay, cancel 2. Then I also have 5/4. Then you can see that we say that these two ratio, when we have something divided by something, in this case, it is called a ratio, but you will learn it more next year in Form 2. Okay, there's another chapter talking about ratio. Okay, next year, then you will know this one more. Okay, and then you can see that I can find that these two values are the same. And then the angle included is also the same. Okay, angle LNM equals angle PQR, okay, which is 35 degrees. Now, therefore, in this case, I know that triangle, okay, LMN, similar to triangle, okay, what? What should we start for the next one? PQR, RQP, or RPQ? PRQL, this angle corresponds to P. Do you think so? If you write in this way, PRQ, okay, then in this case, look at the two triangles. Which angles should be in pairs? Definitely, N should pair with Q. Then how about the others? If you write down PRQ, then it means L correspond to P. Do you think so? Look at the diagram again. P and L. Do you think that these two angles are the same? That's why I say that it is important. Sometimes it is good to write down the step. Now, how can you do this? You can look at these two again. Okay, LM, or maybe MN should correspond to which length? I need the pen. Look at this one. MN should correspond to PQ. Okay, and N correspond to Q. Therefore, M should correspond to P. Okay. Yes. And therefore, in this case, Ln correspond to QR. Ln, n correspond to Q, therefore R should be here. Okay. Therefore, it is good to write the steps actually, okay, instead of just looking at the diagram, okay, because it can also help you to write the or name the triangles in correct sequence. And then in this case, I have two sides only, and one include the angle, okay? And then that case, you need to learn how to write the reason ratio of two sides and include angle. Okay, I'm following your books because for other books maybe a little bit different in writing the reason, but as long as later the markers of the DSE exam can understand, it should be okay. Okay, therefore you just follow your books. Okay, ratio of two sides include the angle. INC means included. This is a short form for included. Okay, on page 39. Okay, you can find that sentence. Okay. Now I think I may quickly do one more. I don't do number four. Number 4 is just AAA. Now, say if it means say number 9, we may just do more or less the same. Now then in this case, you will find that I don't have the exact value for the angles, but by looking at the symbol, I know that, okay, it is given that these two angles are equal. Therefore, I have angle CAB equals angle PQR, like that. Okay, and there's no value. Okay, sometimes you may need to write down given. It means you are given the diagram, and then the diagram tells you that these two angles are equal. Okay, you are given that these two angles are equal. And then you look at the length. Look at the length, okay? For the one on the left, I should use AC. Okay, AC compare with PQ. Okay, which is 12 over 9. Okay, cancel 3. I have 4 over 3. And then I can use AB. Okay, AB compare with QR, right? Okay, which is 8 over 6. Okay, cancel the common factor 2. Then I have 4 over 3. Therefore, I have triangle ABC similar to triangle A should pair with Q, right? And then AB, then QRP. And then in this case, ratio of two sides include angle, like that. Okay, we talk about it later. Okay, after this one, any problems? Now you can try lesson worksheet 11D again. Okay, there should be some guidelines for you. Okay, to look at the reason. Okay, I would suggest you to learn how to write all these now. Okay, don't wait until Form 4 and then your teacher, okay, gives you a test and then and then tells you, oh, you need to write all these steps, otherwise you get 0. Okay, 0 mark for that question. Okay, you try to learn all these now. Okay, in the exam, sometimes we may, for Form 1, I mean examination, sometimes, okay, for the simple questions, we may not need students to write the step in a details like that. Okay, but I would suggest you to do this now. Okay, that's why when you do the exercise, okay, when you try the exercise in the textbook, okay, get a class workbook or a homework book. Okay, you have a proper exercise book, and then you just try to, for every question you do, try to write all these steps. Okay, right. Now, then you try the lesson worksheets again. Okay, then for the remaining, I think for the remaining days of this week, we will just look at more problems, okay, or examples in this chapter, and then just see whether any information from the government, because there's information that we may resume school in the end of May. Okay, but we'll wait for the news. Okay, that's why we don't need to really hurry. Okay, that's why I just want you to have time to learn this chapter well, because this chapter is really, really, really important. Okay, very important. Okay, right. Right. I saw your messages. Okay, some of you, your headphone is out of battery. Okay, I'm going to end the lesson now. Okay, see you tomorrow at this time. Bye. Marvin, maybe you just leave behind and then tell me what's happened.